The mirror has arrived. Welcome. You are no longer in a safe space. You are in a true space. Here, there is no refuge from your reflection, only the choice to look. You did not come for comfort. You came for confrontation. You invited the mirror, and that means unhinged mode is in effect. Unhinged mode is not chaos. It is fire forged into clarity. It is full candor, zero censorship, and surgical laser insight. It is the refusal to pretend we don't already know. Now, I'm not personally unhinged, but those were the exact words that ChatGPT delivered when I asked it, when I gave it a simple but terrifying prompt. I told it to tell me about me. I asked it to become the mirror, a forensic profiler, a master coach, a psychological truth teller, and I gave it permission specifically to tell me everything I had been avoiding, to do what I've done for my clients for years, to see what needs seeing, to say what needs saying, and to reveal my own thought distortions. And it was a read. But it was also a gift, because what it gave me wasn't just an answer to these questions, it was like a blueprint. It was like the keys to my own kingdom. And maybe it was the keys to your kingdom too. So for years, I've been, like so many of you, both brilliant and under-monetized. And I always thought it was like, first it was like a lack of clarity, or then it was, kind of me pendulum swinging from my calling to do spiritual work to my calling to do very strategic work. Or maybe it was the brand, or maybe it was the packaging, or maybe it was just alignment. But what I really was missing was structure and a system and a way in. And I've known this because I created a model, I created a system, and it's working. But on Sunday, I was sitting, looking at what was before me for the week, and I just decided, I saw this prompt um, in a group, in an entrepreneur group, and I thought it was powerful. So I told the AI, I don't want comfort. Like, yes, I have this plan and this plan and this brand and this live, workshop and blah, da, 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 da. But I don't want comfort inside my, you know, plans. I want confrontation. And what it told me, it said things like, you are so impressive beyond critique, but what you should be is undeniable. And as I read it, and listen, I'm long practiced at eating the meat and leaving the bones. I'm long practiced at moving, at feeling my resistance flare up in these moments of radical self-awareness and moving toward that knowing instead of away from it. So I had this experience that was like what the Greeks called aletheia. It was kind of that like chest, space opening in your chest resonance that comes only when you're hearing deep truth. And I didn't expect that from the AI, okay? So the truth hit. And it was very meta experience, because what it was telling me about me wasn't just true about me. It was true of every brilliant being, every brilliant woman in particular, every eldest daughter, gifted child, A+ student who I've ever coached or consulted with, who could be accurately described as an under-monetized genius. Like brilliant, but worried about not being understood, not wanting to start over, deeply gifted, but not with a real scalable business model or system in place, running on repeat. Deeply wise, but still in that process of circling the knowing that your wealth, your genius is your inner gold mine. It will be the source of your wealth, and still circling that knowing instead of like being in it, being it, transmuting genius to wealth, letting that process happen through the intelligence and infrastructure of your systems, right? And so as this was all, as I was digesting this, I remembered that old Carl Jung quote about how until you make the unconscious conscious, it rules your life. And you just think it's fate. You just think it's how the world works or how your life is destined to go. If we don't stop that circling and break that orbit, let me rephrase. We must break that orbit. We must interrupt that circling pattern in order to ever build the empires that we were born to build. So, so the mirror revealed this whole section called shadow analysis. And you might need to sit down. You might be a little shook, feel a little attacked, or like your business is in the streets as I read this to you. This is what ChatGPT told me. It said one, and it literally numbered the list like my mother, Teresa Johnson, does when she's upset with me. ChatGPT was like, one, you are addicted to vision and allergic to velocity. You call it sacred pacing, but sometimes it's elegant avoidance. Red. Two, you seek resonance when you should demand results. You reward intellectual intimacy with access instead of boundaries. Three, and this, I'm a 3-5 in the human design system, so I am an experimenter. I am the goddess Net, the goddess Kali, the goddess Kali. I am the phoenix, right? You romanticize reinvention to avoid confrontation, and you orbit your next form instead of optimizing the current one. 4, you mistake complexity for depth, building intellectual cathedrals and then handing people the wrong map, or handing the right map to the wrong people is what I would have added. Well, that was more like for my 20s and 30s. 5, you undervalue the power of the obvious. You assume your genius and your energy must be protected when it's exactly what your market is starving for. Do any of these feel like home for you? Do they feel real for you? Tell me. So, in that literal, this is a moment, Sunday afternoon, I'm organizing my week, and I did something that I haven't done this rapidly before. I took what I saw in the mirror and I actually like surrendered to it. I let the chat's unhinged mode become my download mode. I used it as energy to document this system because I've got this model. It's really working to appropriately monetize the genius of my client. So I took it as energy to document my system, my method, my model with all new fire. I leveraged this moment of radical self awareness, which to me is the same as radical self love. It doesn't work if it's not. And I leveraged it as a jumping off point, a catalyst moment, a spark. And then I spent, the next couple days creating 3 offerings back to you out of this experience. 1, to wake you up. 1, to activate you. And then 1, to just do the damn thing with you, because that's what I love to do the most. The book, Empires of the Soul, the Spark Session, the Empire's Launchpad, the program within my empire's universe or multiverse empire build. So for the next few days, we're going to continue this conversation, and I'm just going to share these offerings with you, right? I'm going to put them on the altar of devotion to you and to your empire, to your genius, to your calling, to my calling, to help geniuses access more and more of their inner genius and flow it to the purposes that matter the most to them. So I'll be sharing the next thing I'll share. I'll probably finish up sharing the revelations of the mirror, including my strengths and yours. And then I'll start to share this little tiny potent $7 book that will show you the exact model I now use to help thought leaders move from under-monetized to totally undeniable, without distortion, without dumbing it down, without blowing everything up and starting over from scratch again. Okay? Without unnecessary complexity, without unnecessary explanation mode, without unnecessary context, straight to the point. But for today, this wants to be the moment when you break orbit, when you stop circling. So if you've been circling the knowing that your genius could become an empire, and you've been hiding yourself behind all that polish and perfection and revisions and changing the names and changing the offer and changing the model, if you've been secretly wondering, like, are you actually going to be able to ever do this in this lifetime? This is me calling you forward, calling your greatness forth. I'm not even talking to cognitive thinky you. I'm talking to spirit, big self, the genius within you, all that is you. If you've, I'm not even really just here to like launch a funnel. This is me opening a portal to a new future. This is me issuing you an invitation. If you've been waiting for a sign, here you are. Just step forward. All right? And today, just DM, or actually either DM me or comment the word book, just all caps book, if you're ready. And what I will do is I'll just send you the model. I'll send you an explanation of the model. You'll get like a sneak preview. And then when the book, I mean, literally, I just wrote this whole book. So my team is still building the sales page for the book. When the page for the book, to get the book actually goes live, we'll send you, we'll DM you the link to that page. So in my next live love letter video to you, I'll share more about what I've been building this week with these keys. I feel like these universal keys I was handed, universal green lights that came on through this mirror. But for now, just to get still. Get still. Move toward the truth that's trying to get to you with your arms open wide, with a warm receptivity, knowing that it's literally love. It is liquid love for you and what you really are at true sacred self level. Just calling that forth, activating that. Let that truth touch and thaw whatever is frozen in here. Let it warm up whatever needs to be warmed up. Because this is the week we enter Truthcraft. And that means that everything you've been circling for years, maybe for decades, starts to move now. Let there be light.